and welcome to Write It Right. I am your host, Muhammad Umar Iftihar. Today is the 2nd of January, which means that um, inside the USA they will be celebrating the National Science Fiction Day. And being a science fiction author myself, being a fan of science fiction, being um, an advocate of this genre, I also feel overwhelmed and happy to be celebrating this day. Although I live in Karachi, in Pakistan, but the connection of being a science fiction writer, the connection of that creativity, or how can I put it, um, the joy of being connected through creativity is something which I want to celebrate, and I do celebrate it every day. So today is the 2nd of January, and it's a National Science Fiction Day in the United States of America. But it's not a coincidence that January 2 is a National Science Fiction Day, because January 2 is also the birthday of Isaac Asimov, who is one of the most popular science fiction authors in the world. And he is the reason actually that I became a science fiction author myself after I read his the Foundation series, and I read I, Robot, and I read The Bicentennial Man, which also was adopted as a movie starring Robin Williams, and also I, Robot, and how Isaac Asimov conceived the Three Laws of Robotics that became the basis for all robot-based, android-based movies. By robot-based, I mean where the protagonist or the antagonist was a robot or was connected with a character that was an android. That android could be an antagonist or maybe a supporting character. And the three laws of robotics are also the laws that govern and establish the behavior of all um, androids or robots, or how they should behave in a setting where humans are in are still um, in control. And I also loved Isaac Asimov's story, The Caves of Steel. And I think the work that Asimov has done, he has literally, and not only Isaac Asimov. I mean, since it's birthday, so I'm talking about him. But there are so many other science fiction authors. There is Ray Bradbury. There is H.G. Wells. There is uh, Ursula Guin. There is Arthur C. Clarke, and there is Philip K. Dick. There, there are so many others. Uh, William Gibson, Frank Herbert of Dune. So all these authors, uh, have been an instrumental part in creating science fiction um, into a genre that is not only popular, but it also compels readers and viewers to think about the present and the future when they are exposed to these narratives within science fiction that deal with themes of a dystopian society, or alien takeover, or an AI takeover, if we see that as an imminent threat. So science fiction is, I mean, something which is very close to my heart. And one of the earliest memories I have with science fiction is when I watched uh, Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. In what I think that is one of the most iconic pair of characters. It has to be easily in the top five most iconic characters of all time. Marty McFly and Dr. Emmett Doc Brown. Uh, Speaking about science fiction is more. I mean, science fiction eventually is about time travel and dystopian eras and parallel universes and alien takeover and colonization of space. But then again, it's not about any of this. It's about how science and technology affects a person or a group or a society and how they deal with it, how they tackle with it. For instance, Minority Report, starring Tom Cruise, there are these beings that tell the police officers beforehand who is going to murder who, and they actually go and arrest that person even before he or she commits a crime. So that talks about control and proactive governance. Um, and I mean, we can go on and on talking about science fiction. I just want to share here through this video that if you want to write science fiction, don't limit yourself to any idea. There has to be one theme that you should pursue. Create characters, create settings, create impactful settings that can become a character of their own. Create a story that resonates not only with the readers, but it also transcends all the borders of the world. I mean, every society can relate themselves to this story. So this was a very random video that I wanted to share with you all, especially with the fans of science fiction. And I will leave with this parting message that whenever you're writing science fiction, I mean, before you start writing science fiction, do read all these amazing novels, stories written by science fiction authors, and also read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Although the book was published in 1818, 1818, and she is probably the one who initiated the proto science fiction era. I mean, at that time there was no concept of science fiction, but now when you think about it, she used the concept of galvanism to give birth to an artificial human who eventually became a source of question for humans, that what is identity, who am I mean, Frankenstein wanted to ask who am I, and sorry, Frankenstein's monster wanted to ask who am I. Frankenstein was the doctor who created this being. So, yeah, that's about it. If you have any question regarding science fiction, do share with me. I would love to create a video about it. And a little bit about myself, my association with science fiction. I am a published author of four books. Before that, I became a published writer of over 1,000 articles that were published in Pakistan's leading newspapers. And in 2020, I published Divided Species, which is my debut novel, and also it's basically a science fiction story, a science fiction novel, and it's the first ever science fiction story to be set in Karachi, which happens to be my hometown. It's about alien invasions, humans, both of those categories. One part of humans want to save Earth, one part of aliens want to destroy Earth, one part of aliens want to save Earth, and vice versa. And then in 2024, last year in May, I published Player AI, which is Pakistan's first sports science fiction story. I'm going to share the links of all these two books and of my writing portfolio in the description of this video. Keep writing, keep reading, and keep exploring all the genres. Happy, happy, happy New Year to all of you, and a happy National Science Fiction Day to all those celebrating in the United States of America. Thank you so much. This is Muhammad Umar Iftikhar signing out with one last message. There is no limit to creativity. Think, write, explore, have fun.